of Jamaica, Mark Jefferson Golden.
Yes, sir. Marky G, I know you a champion. Everybody wave on your right hand. Put up your fist. Hey! Marky G, we don't know, so none of them not like me. See them all hype up, but that's still not slightly. Rolling up, cut and cut through because I love them.
Now we are
So, pull up
remix.
that, sir.
One like remix.
Comrade chairpersons at the meeting. Because we have two brilliant young comrades, two councillors. All of the distinguished comrades on the platform. Workers, warriors, foot soldiers, supporters of the People's National Party here in Christiana tonight. Oh, what a joy. Una look beautiful, man. PNP River come down bank to bank in Christiana. Comrades, we have been on the road, as you know. We just did a 2-day bus tour. And everywhere we go across this island, the people of Jamaica are ready for the People's National Party. The people of Jamaica are crying out for a better life. They want hope. They are tired of a government in which they have no trust or confidence. A government that tells too many lies, is too full of deception, and is primarily looking at improving the lives of their own. Comrades, that is why we have been promoting a series of ideas and proposals that can deal with the real issues facing this country. My father came here in 1953. He was the first orthopedic surgeon in Jamaica. And when there was a polio epidemic, the government of the day put him in charge of the response, the medical response. And he built a center called the Polio Rehab Center. It later became the Mona Rehabilitation Center. I grew up around persons with disabilities. And so the next PNP government is going to establish a fund of $1 billion to support greater access for persons with disabilities, because persons with disabilities must be fully integrated into the life of their society and their country, like all of us. The next PNP government wants to ensure that our brilliant and talented youths, who are creative practitioners in whatever field it may be, they could be singers and musicians, they could be sound engineers, they could be artists who paint, or potters who make things out of clay. Whatever it may be, we want to ensure that they have some resources to push themselves further along in life and to help build brand Jamaica, which is the source of so much of our economy through tourism and so on. That is why we're going to establish a $1 billion fund a year for the creative and cultural industry practitioners, so they can get the benefit of those resources to lift them up, lift up them families, and push Jamaica's economy forward. The PNP is for the youths of Jamaica. We recognize that the education system in the country has been underperforming. Too many youths leaving primary school can't read and write and can't do basic arithmetic. We can't develop the country like that. We have to solve those issues. One of the causes of that, and there are several, but one of the causes of that is the fact that many children struggle to get to school and have lunch money. Parents are finding it so hard. And that children sometimes miss school because they don't have lunch money. That is why we are committed to spending $9 billion a year more on school feeding programs for needy children at primary and secondary school, so that each child in need will have at least one hot, nutritious meal a day under the PNP government.
Turn up the ting, turn up the ting, turn up the ting.
And when we design these things, we see the additional benefits because that $9 billion is going to be spent with the Jamaican farmers who produce that food. So that money will run through the rural economy and help to uplift the farmers and their families as well. So we're dealing with many problems at one time. We're dealing with the farmers and their families, and we're dealing with the children and the parents who need that help. Similarly, we know that a lot of children don't go to school every day. Some of them don't go 5 days a week, some go 4, some go 3. Because the parents struggle with the cost of transportation to send the children to school. And that is why we came up with the RIDE program. Now we have heard already about the JLP solution, in quotation marks, to bring in 110 buses, old buses, to carry the children. We have grave concerns about that approach. We don't think it is workable, and we think it is very problematic and dangerous. Our proposal is to spend $1.9 billion a year to provide a subsidy to school transportation costs for children who need that help, identified by the schools themselves and social workers. That money will be spent amongst transport operators of the country, so they will benefit from that additional income to carry the children to school. Again, we are solving many problems with our solution. We want to stop intergenerational poverty. What that mean? Poverty that transfers from one generation to the next in a family. A key to that is education. That is why we have the First in Family program. And I have to credit Senator Damian Crawford for this one. If you are the first person in your family to qualify for university or college, any tertiary institution, and you are struggling to go there because of money, the next PNP government will give you a full scholarship to attend university or college, and you can move yourself forward in life and help your brothers and sisters to move forward as well, so we can put an end to intergenerational poverty. The General Secretary, who is also our spokesperson for agriculture, has talked about the Agricultural Development Fund and what we plan to do for farmers. I am not going to go over that again. But when it comes to housing, the next PNP government is going to continue the great tradition of our party in providing affordable housing solutions for Jamaicans who need help with housing. We are going to build 50,000 affordable houses over the next 5 years. And we have identified and are identifying public lands that are not suitable for agriculture that can be made available for housing. And I can tell you that when we build those houses and we sell them to people at an affordable price, we will not include the value of the land in the price of the house. So you're going to get a house for a price that is less than the value of what you're buying. You're going to get $2 to $3 million of additional value in your hand as an owner, courtesy of the progressive policies of the People's National Party. And if you're a young person and you would like to become an owner of your own home, but you can't find the deposit, as long as you've been in the housing trust for at least 2 years, throwing your money in the trust, and we will allow you to get a grant, that is money you don't have to repay, of $500,000, so you can pay down on your house and become an owner rather than having to live at home with your parents or being a tenant for the rest of your life. And for many, many people who are hustling and make them money, they might be a hairdresser or a cosmetologist. They might be a sound promoter. They might be a farmer or a taxi driver. They don't have a pay slip, so they can't prove their income, so they can't qualify for a mortgage. The PNP has the rent-to-own scheme to solve that problem for you. we will allow you to go into possession of one of these houses that we'll be building as a tenant. And as long as you're paying the monthly rent for, say, 6 months, which will be equivalent to the mortgage, we will treat those payments as proof of income, and we will allow you to qualify for the mortgage, draw down the loan, buy the house, and become an owner of your own home with your own door key and part of the ownership society that we want to build in Jamaica. And for all of the ganja farmers them in Jamaica, I-Man Marky G brought the legislation to Parliament in 2015 to decriminalize ganja, personal use. No youth can be arrested and charged or locked up for a spliff or a draw weed or even a chalice. And we created the medical and therapeutic ganja industry. The Labour Rights won the election in 2016 and they mash up the thing. The thing has not progressed how it should. And small farmers can't be part of it right now. The next PNP government wants all ganja farmers to have a chance to become lawful producers of ganja for the benefit of themselves, their community, and Jamaica's economy. And we intend to do it by reforming what is there now and making it better. So people, for us to do all these things, we need to ensure that there's a government in which you can have trust and confidence. Right now, we have a government that has been racked with so many scandals. We heard about the used car scandal, those used cars bought for the police that were never delivered. And there have been so many, JPS, Petrojam rather, Nesal, CMU, the list is very long. The Prime Minister himself, who is taking the Integrity Commission to court, trying to set aside the very offense for which he is being investigated of illicit enrichment and destroy the legislation itself, which his government passed, although we designed it and we brought it to Parliament originally. And because he is under investigation for illicit enrichment, and the investigation has not been completed because the Integrity Commission did not get information from him that they asked him to provide. They've sent it to the Financial Investigations Division. And now that institution has a new person in charge who is somebody who came on public radio saying that the Prime Minister has done nothing wrong, and somebody who doesn't meet the requirements for the job as advertised originally, which said you must have at least 12 years of law enforcement experience, 5 of which should be at a leadership level. This is the kind of thing going on in this country. Hanky-panky is the right word. Undermining of institutions. Critical institutions supporting the good governance of the country. The country can't develop under the Labour Party government right now. The government has no moral authority to lead this country. Because if the head of the stream is not clean and pure, everything below will be soiled also. And so, comrades, that is why we have such a critical mission to accomplish. And that mission is to ensure that whenever the election is called, whether Andrew call it or the Constitution call it, because obviously I'm afraid to call it, because we're almost on the end of the 5 years. I thought we'd have changed out the government long time. But them a drag it out and drag it out. But it have a call. Whenever it is called, I want you to ensure that in Northeast Manchester, there is a new day, and the People's National Party is the party that provides a member of Parliament, Valentin Wint, to come with me to Garden House. I want you to ensure that in Northwest Manchester, we return Michael Phillips, son of my brethren, Peter David Phillips, to Garden House. I want you to ensure that the mayor of Mandeville, Donovan Mitchell, steps up to be the next member of parliament of Central Manchester and comes to Garden House with me. And I want you to ensure that my brethren, a man who not afraid of nobody, a man who talk it as it is, Peter Murcutt Bunting, becomes a member of parliament for South Manchester. We want 4 out of 4 in a Manchester. We are taking it to them, and victory must be ours. Well, comrades, when I ask you the question, what time it is, I want you to tell me, time come. What time it is? What time is it? Are you ready? Are you ready? You look like you're ready. You sound like you're ready. The vibes is here and I can feel that you're ready. Comrades, power to the people, I say. Power. Victory is assured. Do the work. We are not for sale. We will carry home the victory.
Sound the alarm.
Comrades, how you feeling?
You say?
You feel the victory?
Stay focused, no distraction. You understand? Yo, we don't reach the finishing line yet.
If it's here.
You hear that?
Our next meeting
People tell me
will
in
be
the comment section.
Alberton Square.
Alberton
Wednesday,
Square.
July 9th.
Wednesday.
Starting at 6 p.m.
Alright, my boss.
We
People
will be
hear that?
supporting Comrade Wickham McNeil
hear that?
and Comrade Paul Potmore.
We come up
Just like what we did today, we're gonna do it in Trelawney. Comrades,
Alright.
don't move because we have the Jamaica Arise.
Yes.
I want you to get home safe.
Yes.
I don't want nothing to none of my comrades.
Yes.
Because we have a mission to take back Jamaica.
Yes.
We have
Blood
a mission to bring Jamaica to a
Blood
better
coverage.
place.
Blood coverage.
Stand up.
Everybody
Right.
reach home safe.
The trumpet has sounded, my countrymen all, so awake from your slumber and answer the call. The torch has been lighted, the dawn is at hand. Who joins in the fight for his own native land? Land of my birth, I pledge to thee, loyal and faithful.
Thank you very much, comrades. Travel
Yeah,
safe.